most precarious situation you've been in hunting?
Well, there's been several. There's been several. A lot of them
Keep in
are,
mind your kids
yeah,
might be listening to this one, so
yeah,
don't give them any ideas.
yeah. Probably the most scariest moment was we hunt in South Georgia.
Mhm.
So if anybody knows South Georgia, you know the Okefenokee Swamp. So it's miles and miles wide, and our hunting club borders that swamp. So one day in particular, we hunt with dogs up there, which have tracking collars, and we try to stop them and all this stuff from getting in the swamp. But sometimes they just get lost, and you have to go in there and get them. So I had a particular moment where a dog got across. We found it. It ended up being about 2 miles deep in the swamp.
Oh wow.
So good dog, of course. I went in there to find it. Took a gun, took my radio. But you get 2 miles in the Okefenokee Swamp, you're in parts of the swamp that animals haven't never seen a human.
Sure.
You get lost, you're done.
Right.
So maybe not the smartest thing I ever did, but I wanted to get my dog back. So
Sure.
I go in there, and when you get that deep, it's nothing but water and little islands, probably as big as this room, maybe 10 by 10 wide. So you got an island you stand up on, you're in briars, and you swim to the next one. So I finally found where my dog was, right? And I got about probably 200 yards from him, and I was hollering for him, and I'm on this island where briars are. I mean, it's as thick as your wrist,
Mm.
just everywhere, just
Sure.
thorn briars.
Sure.
And I'm calling him, calling him. All of a sudden, I just hear something running right at me through the water, and I can't see because these briars are in front of me. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's not my dog,
Mm-mm.
So it's just running and running, and all of a sudden I see it. All I see is just this huge black animal, and it's just running full speed at me. And now I don't have a shotgun, I don't have a pistol, I got a rifle, and I only got 3 bullets because I had shot two earlier trying to get my dog to come back to shot, and
Sure.
hopefully it'll hear and come back. So I'm down to 3 bullets, and this animal's running right at me, and I can't see if it's a hog or if it's a bear or
Sure.
Bigfoot. I don't
Right.
know what it is. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So, if you could imagine being 2 miles in a swamp, waist deep, nipple deep water,
Mm.
and you can't see nothing but this big, huge black animal running at
Oof.
you as fast as you can,
Oof.
my heart starts pounding
Oh, I bet.
out of my chest, man. And I'm like freaking out. Well, all of a sudden, it gets probably about 20 yards from me, and just slams on brakes. And all I can see is its feet. And I can't tell if it's a bear or if it's a hog. I know it's one or the other.
Sure.
And it stops, and all of a sudden it just starts chomping its jaws at me. Chomp, chomp, chomp. I'm like, holy cow. And then all of a sudden it takes his front paws and goes shoo, shoo, shoo. So I go, pow, shoot it. And I see it fall. I just see it fall over, and I still can't tell what it is. So at that point I only had 2 bullets left. So I managed to get out of the briars, swim to the next island, and get behind the biggest tree that I've ever seen. And meanwhile, I'm about to have an absolute heart attack.
Oh, I bet.
And it was about 30 seconds later that I'm behind this thing, and all of a sudden I hear something coming through the water to me, and I'm like, I'm almost having a heart attack,
No, I bet.
right?
I
Because I
bet.
can't see
Yeah.
behind me. I got the gun, and I got this big, huge cypress tree, and I'm sitting there looking, and all of a sudden, my dog
Oh, yeah.
sticks his head around the corner, and my dog's a big black dog,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh
First,
my.
first thought was, yeah,
First thought was I was dead.
yeah,
It had me.
absolutely, absolutely.
What do you do now?
Yeah.
But it ended up being my dog, and I caught him, and we took our 2 mile hike back out to the.
So you never know. You
You
don't know
never
what it
know.
was?
Don't know to this day.
Wow.
Sometimes I think back and I think it was a big old bear protecting a den, or I think it was a hog, maybe it had babies.
Yeah.
I don't. All I know is it was huge and it was black and it was coming right at me.
Sure. Sure.
So
Wow.